You know, when I tell you I'm not angry about this game, I hope that you believe me. I watched every single second, watched the last quarter bleed the clock down to quadruple zeros. And now I'm here talking about the Raiders losing to the Panthers. And look, when you play as poorly as you did in the first game, you could chalk that up to, team chemistry, bad week one, right? And then when you play as poorly as you do for the first three quarters in your second game, but then play great in the fourth quarter and beat one of the better teams in the National Football League, you're at a crossroads as a fan because you can choose to believe that the last quarter is closer to what you are and that you're improving and that it's a building block. Or you could choose to believe that you're closer to what you were the first 7 quarters of the season. And right now, as we sit 12 quarters into the season, we can confidently say that this is a bad football team. So why is it a bad football team? I think it's pretty obvious, especially after this game. We cannot run the football, and we have terrible quarterback play. If we're going to sit here and say that we are closer to what we did the first 7 quarters rather than the last quarter of the Ravens game, we got to say the same thing about Gardner Minshew. And the fact of the matter is he's been absolutely terrible the bulk of the season, and this was no different. He throws with no rhythm, no anticipation. He throws the ball when people are open rather than throwing them open. He scrambles for no apparent reason. He's got no footwork. He doesn't step up in the pocket. He's not running for first downs like we thought he would. There is nothing that he does that separates himself from any other backup quarterback in the National Football League. And when you don't have a run game to lift them up, and when your offensive line isn't playing great, although I don't think they were terrible today, they were not great today, you've got no chance when he's your guy. A lot of people, again, are dunking on Luke Getsy. I'm not going to do that because I don't think it's very easy to call a game when you can't run the football. And maybe he should have bailed on the run earlier, but I'm sure Antonio Pierce is in his ear telling him, hey, we got to run the football. We got to establish the run. So what's he supposed to do as an offensive coordinator? He's going to listen to his head coach. The defense was very bad today. But look, to be honest, I expected the Panthers to come out with the hair on fire because this is that interim head coach, new quarterback energy. We saw it last year when we played the Giants. We've seen it time and time and again. This has happened to us over and over, Tyson Bagent, Baker Mayfield. I've made videos on this. I made a video this week warning about this potential, and this is why I'm not angry. This is why I kind of, not to say I expected this, but I thought this was a possibility. And when you think something's a possibility and it happens, you can't get frustrated about it because it is what it is, right? We have yet to show that we have an ability to win games that we're supposed to, especially games where a backup quarterback comes in. Now, the defense had a bad day. Max Crosby was on one leg. He was not himself. We lost Marcus Epps, Malcolm Kuntz. He's not there, and it's a really big loss because Tyree Wilson is basically a non-factor. We lost Divine Diablo last week. I mean, they're banged up, and you can't expect the defense to go out there and play great every day. They were not great today. They were bad today. And I wrote this down because I'm going to talk about it tomorrow live on Bleacher Report when I do my complete game breakdown, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a half-hour-long live stream. Come join me. Through 7 drives, the offense had 4 3-and-outs and 1 4-and-out. That's not going to get it done. And I know we couldn't run the football, but we have too many weapons to not be able to get anything going in the passing game. And there are multiple plays that Gardner Minshew just cannot make. He will not make them. And Aiden came in and went right down the field, and we scored a touchdown. Now, I know it's garbage time, and I'm not going to put a lot of stock into garbage time. But what I will say is this. There were 2 drives at the end of the game with garbage time involved. Gardner Minshew threw an interception where there was nobody within 5 feet of the football. And Aiden O'Connell went right down the field and scored a touchdown. And the touchdown that he threw, there was pressure in his face. He got out of the pocket, which everyone told me that he wasn't able to do. And this is why Gardner Minshew was starting. He got out of the pocket, rolled to his right, got hit, fade away like Kobe Bryant, put the ball only where Trey Tucker could catch the ball, and it was a touchdown. There were multiple instances on that drive where he stood in there, He got hit. He put the ball right where it needed to be. There's zip to this pass that he throws compared to Gardner, which is nothing but CP3 floaters. And if Aiden O'Connell does not start next week, I will no longer be supporting the decision to start Gardner Minshew. That doesn't mean I'm not supporting this football team. That doesn't mean I'm not supporting Gardner. I want him to do good, and I will be rooting for him. But I will not be behind Antonio Pierce's decision to now continue to start Gardner Minshew. And if Aiden starts next week, and he's terrible, right? Could happen, I guess, and we lose, okay, then we lose. He's going to start the rest of the season because he's a young kid, and his ceiling's higher. And if we lose every game, then we draft a quarterback. There is absolutely no reason for Gardner Minshew to take another goddamn snap for the Las Vegas Raiders. And again, I'm not completely wholesale blaming him for this game, but it can't get worse than being down 30-7 in the fourth quarter against the Carolina Panthers, and we are lucky to have those 7 points because he was out of bounds on that first down that he got, and they didn't challenge him. So what is the point of starting Gardner Minshew if we know what he is, if we're not going to win games with him, if we're not going to get first downs with him, if he's not going to scramble and make plays outside the pocket? When Aiden came in there and did the exact thing that Gardner Minshew was told by us that Gardner Minshew was going to do, is scramble out and make plays. Aiden came in and did that twice on one drive. This Gardner Minshew experiment is absolutely over. He's not Rich Gannon. He's not Ken Stabler. He's not Sam Darnold. He's not Andy Dalton. And I'm sorry. And this is not an I told you so gotcha moment because I wanted it to work. But we all saw it in the preseason. We all saw it in OTAs. Every single person that had a brain thought Aiden O'Connell was the better option. And they went with Minshew for the experience and the mobility, and that has done shit for us. There's no experience that's being put into this game that's helping us win. There's no mobility. And the offensive line, for the most part throughout this game, gave him time to throw the football, and he was running around seeing phantom defensive players in the backfield when there was nobody there. Blame Luke Getsy all you want. I'd love to see anybody be able to call a game plan when you cannot run the football. He's not out there handing the ball off or blocking or running. And maybe, again, he should have abandoned it earlier. I get it. But I wouldn't trust Gardner Minshew to do that either. But Luke Getsy's not the guy calling the shots to put Aiden O'Connell in the game. But we saw Aiden in the game at the end with the ones. So let's see what we got against a shitty Cleveland Browns team. A team that lost to the Giants, right? Let's see what we got with Aiden. If we lose and he sucks, oh well, then we suck, right? Then let's trade Devontae, get another first, package that to trade up to get our franchise guy. But there is no reason to continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome. For 11 of 12 quarters, Gardner Minshew has been dog water, whether he's had protection or not. And it doesn't help that he doesn't have a run game. But he's not the quarterback that's going to lift us above our flaws. And maybe Aiden isn't either, but there's only one way to find out. Because a good reason, or partly why Antonio Pierce is the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, is because Aiden O'Connell came in and steadied the ship. Is Gardner Minshew shown to be any better than Jimmy Garoppolo last year? That's really the key to all this. Is Gardner Minshew this year better than Jimmy Garoppolo was last year? If the answer is no, then why is Aiden O'Connell not in the game, AP? Because you're the one who started Aiden O'Connell instead of Gardner Minshew. And we're talking about the season in quarters. That's what you wanted to do. Talk about it in quarters. Guess what? The end of the first quarter is coming up. And you're going to roll with Gardner, who's not as good as Jimmy Garoppolo when you benched Garoppolo last year. Remember when I said I wasn't going to get angry? It just seems clear to me that there's one guy that needs to be playing. And it's Aiden, for better or for worse. So please put him in next week. I'm tired of watching Gardner Minshew play. I'm tired of it. It's not good enough. There's no accuracy. There's no anticipation. He's not playing the quarterback position. He's afraid. He's scared. He doesn't believe in himself. You could see it when you watch the games. Use your eyes. The Gardner Minshew thing is over. It's over. It's done. Put the better quarterback in the game and we'll see what happens. Put the younger quarterback in the game, we'll see what happens. Keep trying to establish the run next week. I'll break this all down on Bleacher Report tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new. Join the Discord, join the Patreon. It's all down there. Same old Raiders, right? Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after on the church. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.